Hey everyone, welcome to Jeff Bruno, Be Modeler Live on behalf of acceleratoorg.com. Hey Sean, good to see you, or never see you on this. I am in Ocean City, New Jersey doing a live here, so sorry for some of the background, but that is the best I can do. So, as I usually do on these lives, I'll give a quick general update. So we are in mid-July. We're halfway through the year, and what a heck of a year it's been. No one would have anticipated the market to do what it did, with the techs rebounding so aggressively and putting a lot of paper capital back in people's pockets. Investments seem to be strong. Inflation seems to be ebbing. We have a Fed who's willing to sort of stop and wait a little, maybe one or two more raises here on rates, and people are parking some money in savings at some decent money market rates, 3, 4, even 5% I've seen at some brokerage firms. So look for those things. If you have extra money sitting around, make sure and get those in some interest-bearing accounts. Brokerage firms usually get the best. Banks are pretty poor. It's usually online or brokerage firms to get 3.5% or higher. So if you got $50,000 sitting in the bank, that's $2,500 of income just sitting there per year. So get it while it's hot. Get it while the interest rates are hot. If you're just holding that capital for growth capital. And hope everybody's doing well with their businesses. So let's jump into some questions. First question's from Kelly Killingsworth. How do I become the absolute best owner leader in my excavation company? I'm the owner of Kelco Construction. We are an excavation contractor in Northern California. I know that I'm a great operator. I know that I'm one of the better drivers around. I know that I can work my ass off, but I do not know how to grow and lead a successful business. As I look to add team members, what are things I should be doing to increase my skills in leadership and team building so I can grow the company? Kelly, good to hear from you. I think I answered a question of yours a couple months ago as well. And I saw you ask the same question to Shelly. I was watching a little bit of her live the other day. So here's my thoughts on this. You're damn right, Kelly. A leader is completely different than an operator. Totally different. And the biggest mistake that every owner does, the biggest, is they try to do both. It is very hard to be an effective leader if you're still operating on the front lines. So the problem is, how do you get enough bang out of the buck there, so to speak, on enough profit if you're partially a direct resource, or you're on the ground driving or doing other things to help facilitate the jobs, and that is some of the reason that you have your own income, and flipping that switch to becoming a leader, it's hard because you lose that income of the time you're spending basically helping facilitate. So that's a hard equation to do, but I can tell you that if you do not minimally, and I say minimally, probably get to about 75-80% off of the front lines. You could do a little bit of some project management, or jump in and support some of your team members from time to time from a management level. I would not say driving a truck or driving a forklift or anything or is a good idea, but project management a little bit is okay, not too disruptive from a leadership standpoint, but 75% of your time has to be focused on leading and building the company. That is the biggest thing and the only way that you will be able to build skills in leadership, because it takes time. I can tell you, happened with me. One of my biggest issues with leadership was selfishness. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but in the same way that you think you can, you're the expert and you can do the best, as you say, a great operator. That's a selfish scenario. That's look, I'm good at this, so I want to do it. I had that problem. I was an expert in financial strategy and analysis, and it was very hard for me to give that up to other people in my organization. It's still hard for me today to do that, but it was disrupting my leadership immensely, and it took me, 6-7 years till I figured that out. So it could take a while. And it wasn't until about 2 years ago that I got enough off my plate to effectively really take a look at what I needed to do to lead and do the job. I'm a much better leader today than I was just 2 years ago. So look, I'm doing it now, and I'm 47. So it takes a while, man. So don't beat yourself up, but that's my advice. Next question is from Lamont Gray. What model should I use for providing technical support to clients? I provide point-of-sale systems and security cameras to businesses and homeowners. Currently, my clients get free tech support for 6 months on all products and services. I'm struggling with determining how I should offer support after the 6 months period. Currently, I charge a service fee depending on what needs to be repaired after 6 months. On a previous Zoom call, we were encouraged to think of ways of generating recurring revenue in our business. Now I'm thinking of offering a retainer fee to businesses where they pay an annual fee, depending on the size of the company, and it provides them with IT support in their business without having to hire an IT department. Is this a good approach? So Lamont Gray, I think there are a couple things to consider here. So what type of business do you want to be? Honestly, Lamont, what do you want to be? Do you want to be a point-of-sale system security camera installation group or resale? I'm not 100% sure what you do with that. Or do you want to be an IT company? It's really the question. Because if you're an installation company, I would recommend you focus all your efforts on installation and get somebody else to do maintenance. Or start another company and have their focus be only maintenance. But if you want to move your business to an IT company and you're doing installation just to get the long-term recurring revenue from maintenance and I'll call it improvements or upselling of product, then that's a different story. So which way do you want to go? Now, obviously security is a big area to be in. There's needs on both sides of this. I would think that the installation side is very difficult to manage people in that arena, and unless you're just doing resale, and probably hard to keep good people continuously on your team, and they tend to be a little bit unique in a skill set, which can be a little more costly. So unless you have the right margins, i.e. high margins on your installation, and you can hit like a 70% margin on your 70-80% margin on your labor, and at least a 30-40% margin or markup, not margin, but markup on your goods, and a 70-80% or greater margin on your labor, there's some problems here in your business model. So then maybe you want to move towards more of an IT scenario. Now you can in the meantime do both until you figure out what direction is best for you. So I think setting up a fee is a good idea, or a warranty kind of construct maybe. Maybe you say, hey, if you pay me $150 a month, again I'm just making a number up here, but $150 a month, that includes once a quarter check on your systems and a free labor call per month, or maybe a free labor call per quarter. So that's something you can do, and that would help with the maintenance aspect. And then if you have support on the IT side, I absolutely think you can charge another type of fee for that. But again, see, this is why I'm struggling, because I'm not sure which business you're going to go for here. And these two could be construed, meaning your resource could be difficult to run with. I know that was a long-winded answer, but hopefully that's helpful. And per Sean here, I'm going to shorten up these answers. He asked me to do that, and I think we're going to do a different type of video here down the road. So I'm going to shorten up the answers, and then if I elongate, I'll explain. So next question from Arnie Schoenberg. Arnie says, do I go with my gut and choose not to work with a potential client? Business, lighting design consultant. Today I had a meeting with a group that had transitioned from hotel work to office spaces. During the meeting, they requested that I spend 30 minutes providing their team with tips on office lighting for their projects, despite it not being my area of expertise. They also expected to potentially involving me in a future project if necessary. I left the meeting with the impression that they are seeking free advice and have no genuine intention to utilize my services. This situation misrepresents my actual skill set, and it could potentially be a waste of time, particularly if a more suitable opportunity arises. I'm inclined to trust my instincts and walk away. I'd like to redirect them to someone who may be better equipped to assist them. So yes, Arnie, real short and sweet, I totally agree with you. I would tell them that they need to find someone who can give them tips on their area of expertise, and you would be happy to work with that person to see how your lighting design can fit into their schema. 100%. They are trying to pick your historical expertise and get it for free. So I think you explain to them your highest value proposition and how maybe you can fit into what they're trying to accomplish with another consultant. Next question, Kimberly Benjamin. How much should I pay someone for a referral or a lead? We own a roofing company, and we have a property and casualty insurance agency partner who sends us leads to repair roofs for clients of theirs trying to obtain homeowners insurance. How much should we pay for the referral? Thanks. So Kimberly, this is a typical question I hear a lot, but it kind of depends on what that referral person is expecting. It depends on the volume they're going to send to you. A lot of questions here. I've seen many different scenarios with this. I've seen build up on volume and get rebates essentially, or if you get me $100,000 in business, I'll give you 10%, but if you only get me 50, I'll give you 5%. Kind of build ups. I've also seen a scenario where it's just a flat 10% fee across the board for the project. I would say you're in the 5 to 15% range of referral fees typically, and you generally want, if they're a really strong provider, you want to give them a really good referral fee because they will be a crucial piece in building your business. Next question is from Ricardo Delgado. How can I start planning for the sale of my company in order to maximize sales price? Business description. I own a barbershop and interested in learning more of what is necessary to my business. What type of things are involved when doing this? Thank you. So Ricardo, this is tricky a little bit here, but I'll be as short and sweet as I can. So if you're going to try to plan for the sale of your business and maximize the sales price, you need to have a stable 2 to 3 years, minimum 2, typically 3 years of what I call EBITDA, earnings before interest, taxes, and depreciation and amortization. A strong EBITDA number. What that means is a number before any interest, any taxes that you pay, amortization, depreciation, or any sort of one-time expenses that hit your P&L. You want to look at that number and get that as strong as you can, because for a business like yours, a service business, it's usually going to trade valuation on EBITDA. So you want to maximize that EBITDA. And that means anything you're doing that doesn't create revenue should be carefully monitored so that you don't spend or add fixed expenses or spend any extra variable expenses that are out of whack with the scenario in your business model. So that's how you can maximize EBITDA. And for a barbershop, which is a person business and typically a strategic sale, typically, meaning you're going to sell to another barbershop group. There's not a lot of stickiness there. I mean, the stickiness is the people who come to you, but you don't have like annuity business. So really, you're going to probably get anywhere from 2 to 3 times EBITDA in most cases. So I think it's hard to get much north of that. So for an example, if you have $1 million business and you're making $200,000 EBITDA, you're going to get a sale anywhere from maybe $400,000 to $600,000, maybe. That's sort of your top end. So hopefully that's helpful. I could dig in more with you on how to accomplish that. Next question is from Mike Ajana. Mike says, I was wondering if you have any sales and marketing ideas for a local moving company. I'm a local moving company, like 2 men in a truck, doing about $500,000 annual sales. I can grow my labor team, and now I want to scale new clients. Have you heard any ideas I can use to grow new business? Thanks. So, Mike, I am not a sales and marketing guy. Really not the guy to hit up here. But I think what you want to do here is really look at all of the pieces. So look at how much can a labor person do. So if if 2 men in a truck is X, I would put that in a box. So 2 men in a truck costs you what? Gas, truck, 2 men doing full time in a week, buying a new truck, so the lease cost for a new truck or finance cost. What does that component look like? So let's say a good truck is maybe 60,000, 70,000, maybe a little more. 2 men cost you maybe 50,000 to 60,000. That's really what the going rate is here for drivers and movers. So it's gone up recently. So let's call 60,000. It's 120,000 plus the truck, is an $80,000, $70,000, $80,000 truck over a 5-year term. So you're talking about maybe about 20 grand there. So that's 140 plus insurance and tax, give it another 10%, 14,000. Gas is another maybe 5,000 for the year, a little more, probably more. So, 175 is one expense component. So you want to say, well, how many jobs do I need to get my profit on 175? And a good way to think about profit would be you want to double that. So you want to get $400,000 in business for a $175,000 cost construct. So in order to get $400,000 in business, how much marketing spend do I think I need to put aside? Typically, marketing spends between 8 and 20%. So let's say 10%. So you might need $40,000 in marketing spend to get to $400,000 in revenue. So that's a budget. So maybe you have $40,000 and you go to a marketing person saying, this is what I have and I need to turn this into $400,000. Now that's a 10-to-1 ratio. That's a lot, but I think in your space that makes sense to sort of target that level because you have a pretty high cost structure that you have to ramp up to. So, and maybe you're only getting 7 or 8 times on the marketing dollar, but that's okay. That should still work out for you. So, I gave you some financial terms, not really the marketing stuff, but I thought that might be helpful. All right, guys, some good questions today. Pretty quick, but I'm trying to keep this a little shorter to give Sean some more bites here, at the more sound bites, and I will make it even more concise, Sean, going forward. Hope this helps, guys. Talk soon, and have a great afternoon.